Hey everybody, welcome back to the Art and Survival Guide. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Corey. If you're new here, we talk all things nursing, healthcare, tips, tricks, things to help you, the new nurse, the new grad, as you progress during your first few years as a nurse. Today we got 5 tips for the new nurse to help with time management that they don't tell you about in nursing school. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right in. All right guys, so tip number 1, anticipate your patient's needs. So at the beginning of my shift, I usually grab waters, I grab snacks, I'll ask if they've gotten dinner, just kind of the little things, literally like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, addressing their pain, their comfort. I try to knock those things out right away at the beginning of the shift because you don't want to be in your med pass in the middle of something and they're always asking you to refill water, grab some jello, some applesauces, stuff like that. So I try to gather all those things at the beginning of my shift, have them on hand, so as when I introduce myself and I walk in the room, I already got them. I'm already getting refreshments, I'm already getting refills on things. So those call lights later on in the shift, I've already addressed them, I've already knocked them out. So not always gonna have a tech to do that based on staffing needs, so you can go ahead, be preemptive, get all those things knocked out first. So that is tip number 1. Guys, tip number 2, prioritize your med pass. Definitely make that the focus at the beginning of your shift, is to knock out as many med passes as you can. Kind of tying along into the first tip of just having things preemptively. If you can preemptively pass your meds at a decent time, that's going to save you so much valuable time during the later hours of your shift. If something were to happen like codes or rapid responses, or if you have like lots of dressing changes to do, that will definitely save you a lot of time getting that med pass done early. So things that I like to do to help me with that, I'll look up each patient's med list before I start my shift. That way I know what they're taking. I know I can grab those things before I enter their room, just so when I do go in, I can at least complete a task. I can complete their med pass, I can complete their assessment, get their vitals, get all those things done early. That way I'm not floundering around later in the shift trying to pass, a metoprolol that was due at 9 o'clock and it's like 4 in the morning. I get that out of the way first, so definitely try to make that a priority, especially in the beginning of your shift. So tip number 3 for you guys, you're gonna have patients that want to talk your ear off, that want to spend time with you. Good nurses can build good rapport really quickly. Key phrases that I like to use are, basic human needs, like have you eaten dinner today? Have you had your pain meds? Have you gotten any rest? Just those simple key phrases that have really nothing to do with their hospital stay builds rapport quickly. The patient feels like, oh, like I'm a person, I'm not just a bed, I'm not just a patient, I'm not just a statistic or a number. So definitely use those key phrases to help you. That way you build some rapport quickly, and if you do have your walkie-talkie patients, you got to get out of the room at some point. Spend time with them, but not too much time. Sometimes, you'll be leaving, you'll be in the entrance of the doorway, you'll be down the hall, they'll still be talking to you at the nurse's station. So, taking in mind these patients, they're lonely, they've only talked to a couple people all day, usually doctors, and they're in and out. So spend some time with them, but again, you have 4, 5, 6 other patients that need you as well. So definitely find those key phrases that can kind of get you in and out of situations. If you have Voceras, phone a friend, say they need help. That's always a good way too. So just useful tips to keep in mind to get out of your patient's room sometimes. Another really useful thing that's helped me is prioritizing labor-intense tasks first in the beginning of my shift. The last thing you want to have happen, again, is having 2 dressing changes, a whole bed change, linen change late in your shift, and then something were to happen and now you're behind even more, and you won't be leaving until like 10 after, or hopefully, God forbid, like 11 a.m., 11 p.m. So get those heavy tasks done first, get them out of the way. What I like to do for my dressing changes, I like to have in Rapport a good idea of what I'm looking at so I can gather all my supplies first before I enter the room. If your patient's turned over and you see that their wound is way more extensive than what you thought, and you're running back and forth trying to get supplies, it's never a good idea. So have all the supplies early, be prepared, and get them done early. Get them done at least by like 10, at least by midnight, 10 p.m. midnight or 10 a.m. noon. So always a good rule of thumb. You never know what's gonna happen in the later hours of your shift. So prioritize those heavy tasks first. It'll save you a lot of time. Tip number 5. So the biggest issues I've run into at times is not passing PRN pain medications. I worked on a trauma unit. Everybody had broken legs, broken arms, and if you got behind on your pain meds, there was an argument waiting to happen. So I know there's been some issues with chronic pain management, the opioid crisis, all the drug use. Again, our job is to help our patients. And if you can have a conversation in the beginning of your shift of, hey, do you want to be woken up for your pain medications, or do you want me to leave you sleeping? That's a really good conversation to have. That'll save you some time. So the last thing you want is your patient to wake up, they're screaming in pain, they're pointing the finger of blame at you of, hey, why didn't you wake me up for my pain meds? And you're like, I didn't know you wanted them, So have a clear, concise conversation at the beginning of your shift. Hey, let's keep you on a schedule, I'm waking you up. Or do you want to be left asleep? Because a lot of times nobody can get sleep in the hospital and they prioritize their rest. We'll get caught up on pain later. It's not that bad at the moment. Have that conversation ahead of time. It'll save you a lot of headaches, a lot of trips to the charge nurse. So just keep up on pain, keep up on PRNs. It'll save you a lot of time. So that being said, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching these videos. We had almost 200 views on the second post. That was awesome. We'll keep posting. We'll have some YouTube shorts coming out soon. So excited for that. I really enjoyed this process. It's been a lot of fun making these videos. So again, like I said, about each week we'll have a new topic to discuss for helpful tips and tricks. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for all the support. Go ahead, like and subscribe, ask questions. I'm all ears. So good luck on your next shift, guys. Have an awesome day. Peace.